The world of AI is buzzing right now. There are so many people talking about the potential for the future, the advantages for now with all things AI. And I think these tools are incredibly powerful and actually really great for creatives, for artists. For as much as people say this is gonna kill the industry, this is gonna take our jobs, there is the fear, the doom and gloom, and the absolute rejection of anything AI, thinking it's such a bad, terrible tool. But I think when you look at it in perspective of the past and how far we've come and all the technology that is constantly replaced or improved or exchanged for other work, other jobs in the past, you start to see that this is just the next logical step on the path that we're already on. This AI stuff already exists. You can't put the genie back in the lamp. You can't close Pandora's box. It's open and it's wide open. So I think it is far more better to take advantage of these tools, use them, find ways to work with them so that you can stay up to date and you're not just sitting there complaining and being scared about the future of AI. Is it a little scary? Yeah, I think everybody has that reaction, especially if you've lived long enough to know how far it's come in this short period of time. And then you plot forward and you think how much further it's going to go in the next year, 2, 5 years, 10 years, where are we going to be? It's a lot to process, it's a lot to unpack, but I think when you look at it and you again take into that historical consideration of where we've come from, you start to see a little bit more of a peaceful outlook on the potential for these tools. Before we get into it, this video is brought to you by Bocarola. You can use discount code STRAWNS for 20% off premium mushroom supplements like lion's mane, reishi, and mushroom gummies. The world of AI is changing so fast. OpenAI just showed off their newest model, Sora, which basically lets you generate video content that looks real, like someone shot it, someone edited it. It's incredible. And this comes on the back of things like DALL-E and ChatGPT and Gemini and Bard and all the other different models that are being used in the world of AI. You've got Microsoft, OpenAI, Google, they're all kind of doing their thing, pushing things forward, creating tools that we couldn't even imagine just 5 years ago.
It's some form of Elvish. I can't read it.
There are a few who can.
You can create videos now at the click of a button where it will write the script, do the voiceover, and pull all the imagery for you into a video that's, you know, maybe 70% there, 80% there. We're still not at the point where we're replacing human beings, but we're certainly streamlining a lot of the effort that used to go into these things. You can write up an idea and ChatGPT will give you a whole book, a whole summary.
It can take in and generate up to 25,000 words of text, around 8 times more than ChatGPT.
You can write a sentence and turn it into voiceover. In the near future, you're able to just type what you want to see and boom, a video will be there for you to look at. This is gonna change so much, but it might also not change that much at all. We're still gonna need people to use these tools, to run these programs, to be masters of the AI, just like we have people who know how to use Photoshop or Adobe Premiere or any software application. You have your experts, your gurus, and then you have your regular people who don't really understand how these tools work. The AI tools are very easy, they are very intuitive, but to get exactly what you want takes that extra level of skill and understanding and time with these programs to actually know how to use them. Most people aren't all that interested in doing that. I like to say that about 10% of people are producers and maybe 90% of people are consumers. So as long as you stay in that 10% category, producing things, I don't think it really matters how you're producing it. You might have your personal preference of what you think is good or bad or what tool you like to use, and that's fine, but the 90% of consumers just want to watch content, consume content, buy their groceries at the grocery store. Not many people want to go farm and make the crops that they buy. So I think when I look at it, I like to be optimistic and look at the benefits that AI brings to my job, my workflow. Things that used to take me hours or days now might only take me minutes. And that's great for efficiency and productivity because now I don't need to spend a lot of money or a lot of time doing something that really at the end of it didn't really matter how I did it. The end product is more or less the same, but I was able to streamline and simplify my workflow and shave time off of my day so I can do other things and be more productive, more creative. The tools we have are always changing. You look at things just a couple years ago where Photoshop was doing content aware fill, and I don't know very many people that really had a problem with that. Even though it's a sort of form of AI, we've had robotic voices for the longest time. Since even I was a kid, my computer was able to talk to me. So we've always had things kind of happening in the background, tools that make things easier and take jobs away in terms of maybe 3D artists and graphics or in video games. You have things just a few years ago, procedural generation, where every gun is random and made for you, or every world you go to is random and generated and not really crafted or designed in the same way that it used to be done. We've been on this inevitable march for quite a while, and this is just the next step forward where these tools are becoming more and more powerful and more usable by everyday people. I am a video content creator, an independent filmmaker, a videographer, and I am paid to do that work even though basically every client I have has a camera in their pocket via their phone that can shoot 4K, that can have shallow depth of field, that can do editing and all those amazing tools right on their smartphone. Yet, I'm still able to get work, and I think a lot of you are able to get work. So even though the tools become cheaper and more accessible, doesn't mean that every single person wants to use them or knows how to use them. Smartphones probably have taken some jobs, but they've also made certain jobs a lot easier. And if you're a content creator, videographer, filmmaker like me, you'll know that the smartphone, for as scary as it might be, that it can shoot 4K and have high dynamic range and perfect autofocus, still doesn't replace the person using the smartphone.
Not this time.
It doesn't replace the person using the camera.
Not a chance.
Human beings will always have value because we're decision makers, we're creatives, we can think of what we want and use tools to get it. Now, if AI goes off the rails and becomes some Skynet, doomsday, apocalyptic god machine, then yeah, I can't stop that from happening, unfortunately. But in the world of generating images and video and voiceover and text, I think these are tools that we can play with and not be so scared of, because what's the alternative? To sit around and complain about, back in my day, we shot video. Yeah, okay, great, that's always been the case. Film became digital, small sensors became big sensors, manual focus became autofocus. There is so much progression and the inevitable, and all you can do is move along with it or get left in the past. So when I look at AI, I do feel that internal sense of fear and doubt of, oh my goodness, what is the future gonna bring? But I felt that before, and it's always best to check that and not operate in a state of fear or panic, but operate in an understanding of, if this is where we're headed, if this is the world we're moving towards, how can I move with it? I think that mindset is far more powerful than you can imagine, because there will be so many people left in the dust. And there will be the people who move forward with these tools and find ways to use them, to monetize them, to build jobs and careers and companies out of them. So yes, it's okay to be a little nervous or skeptical about how these tools are going to play out. But really, take this to understand that you can have peace with that, and you can actually start to experiment and use these tools to help you. There probably are things that you're doing that take more time than you want. Find AI tools that help you streamline that process. Not to replace your job entirely, but just help you do your job better. The internet, television, smartphones, social media, it's all changed the world so much. And yet the world is still kind of the same in the same ways that it's always been, because they're still humans, and humans create their own problems. And I think those are the problems that are more worth worrying about and fearing about, the humanity problems, than what a piece of technology may or may not do to your own job. Try and keep a level head, have a good understanding of what's happening, where things are headed, and I think you'll feel a lot better about that future. But let me know what you think. Maybe you completely disagree, and that's okay. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it.